Hello, and welcome to the final lesson in Topic 1.5 External Influences on Business. Think of this lesson as the one that ties everything together. We have already explored stakeholders, technology, legislation, and the economy as separate topics. Now we are stepping back to look at the bigger picture, why external influences matter so much, and how businesses actually respond when the world around them changes. This is a really important lesson for your exam, so let us give it our best. Let us start with the question: what exactly are external influences? They are factors outside a business that affect how it operates, things the business itself cannot directly control. Unlike internal factors, such as staff motivation or production methods, external influences come from the outside world: technological developments, new laws, economic changes, and so on. Because businesses cannot control these forces, the critical skill is learning to monitor and respond to them effectively. The difference between businesses that thrive and those that struggle often comes down to how well they read and react to their external environment. Why do external influences matter so much? Because every business, no matter how well run, operates in an environment that is constantly shifting. A new law can overnight change what a business is permitted to do. A recession can erode consumer confidence and cause sales to collapse. A new technology can make an entire product range obsolete. Think about what smartphones did to standalone cameras, GPS devices, and portable music players. Kodak, once one of the world's most valuable photography companies, failed to adapt quickly enough to digital technology and eventually went bankrupt. Businesses that ignore external influences risk falling behind competitors, losing customers, or facing serious legal and financial consequences. Those that respond well often turn challenges into opportunities for growth, and that is precisely the mindset the best businesses cultivate. Now, let us look at how businesses respond to each of the three main external influences covered in Topic 1.5. Starting with technology. When new technology emerges, businesses face a clear choice: adapt and invest, or get left behind. A business might respond by building or upgrading an e-commerce platform to reach more customers at all hours. It might use social media marketing to build brand awareness far more cheaply than traditional advertising ever allowed. It might introduce automation on the production line to cut costs and improve consistency. UK retailer Next is a strong example here. It invested heavily in its online operations years before many rivals and built one of the most profitable e-commerce businesses in British retail. Businesses that identified the shift to online shopping early and responded proactively gained a lasting advantage over rivals that continued relying solely on physical stores. The lesson is clear: early, strategic responses to technology pay long-term dividends. Moving on to legislation. When new laws come into force or existing ones are updated, businesses must act to ensure compliance. This might mean revising employment contracts to reflect updated minimum wage rates, investing in staff training on health and safety requirements, or modifying products to meet tightened consumer protection standards. Compliance inevitably carries costs, but smart businesses see it as an opportunity too. A company that goes beyond bare legal compliance, paying above minimum wage, maintaining exceptional environmental standards, investing in workplace well-being, can build a genuine reputation as an ethical and trustworthy brand. In a marketplace where consumers increasingly make choices based on a company's values, that ethical reputation is a real commercial asset. It attracts customers, retains talented employees, and builds long-term competitive advantage. Now for responses to the economic climate. When economic conditions are favorable and consumer confidence is high, businesses may respond by expanding, opening new locations, launching new products, or growing their workforce to meet rising demand. When the economy slows, when inflation rises, or when interest rates squeeze household budgets, businesses need to adapt. Common responses include renegotiating supplier contracts to reduce costs, diversifying the product range to appeal to customers with tighter budgets, or adjusting pricing strategy. Supermarkets like Tesco and Sainsbury's, for example, expanded their own brand budget ranges significantly when economic pressures mounted in 2022 and 2023, knowing shoppers would trade down to cheaper products. Businesses with strong cash reserves can weather downturns far better than those operating without any financial buffer, which is why financially responsible management matters even in good times. It is worth noting that businesses rarely face just one external influence at a time. Technology shifts, new legislation, and economic changes frequently arrive together and interact with each other. The introduction of GDPR data protection legislation in 2018, for example, had a technological dimension. Businesses had to update their digital systems, as well as a legal and financial one. The most resilient businesses build monitoring systems and operational flexibility into their plans precisely so they can respond quickly on multiple fronts simultaneously. Those that plan ahead, rather than simply reacting in a panic, manage these challenges far more effectively. A key exam tip for this final lesson: questions about external influences often ask you to evaluate which factor poses the greatest threat or opportunity for a particular business. Always justify your choice by linking it directly to the characteristics of the business in the question. A business heavily reliant on imported raw materials is most exposed to exchange rate changes, while a business serving mainly discretionary consumers is most sensitive to economic downturns and falling disposable income. Another tip: the word evaluate in an exam question is a signal to weigh up both sides, benefits and drawbacks, opportunities and threats, before reaching a justified conclusion. Practice ending your longer answers with a clear conclusion that states which factor you think matters most and why. The strength of your reasoning is what earns marks at the higher levels, not just the number of facts you can recall. It is also worth remembering that external influences can interact with each other in complex ways. A period of economic recession might lead the government to change tax policy, which changes business costs. A new environmental law might drive businesses to invest in new technology, which then reduces their long-term energy costs. Seeing these connections and explaining them in your answers demonstrates exactly the kind of applied thinking that separates good answers from outstanding ones. To summarize topic 1.5 as a whole, external influences, technology, legislation, and the economic climate are forces that businesses cannot control, but absolutely must respond to. Stakeholders both shape and are shaped by those responses. The businesses that thrive treat external change not just as a threat, but as a prompt to adapt, improve, and outpace their competitors. You have now completed the whole of topic 1.5, and that is a genuinely significant achievement. You should feel really proud of the work you have put in. Outstanding effort, and best of luck with everything that comes next.